Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is the PC Muscle Race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's poppin'?
Also joining us is the Mad Pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Hello.
Hello. I feel like we just did this.
Yeah, I know. Deja vu.
I know.
Right? Well, how's everyone doing? How's everyone's weekend going?
So far so good. No complaints. No complaints. But I definitely have YouTube and I have a gripe right now.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't have put all that fancy things into your podcast.
I swear I was trying to put all this production value into last night's Crossroads show. It goes up, and right when I'm hitting publish, I see a little exclamation point, on the details, and I click and I look, and I'm like, copyright claim. And I'm like, how's the copyright claim for stuff that's all over freaking YouTube? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I that's why I don't mess with any of that stuff, because I'm just afraid that these, copyright strikes and tags and, oh, you can't use this because it plays a certain variation of a certain song and stuff. So I just it's why I'm so hesitant to do more Let's Play shows and stuff, because of all of the notifications we've gotten for Mario Party, or I keep getting them for that Ratchet and Clank thing Ed and I did 5 years ago, and
jeez,
it's
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
and I don't quite get it, because it's like I said, something that's all over YouTube. It's not even. I don't know. And and the sad part is I haven't put the credit where they come from, all the videos and stuff I did. So basically we talked about all this stuff in State of Play. So stuff is on there for Stray, Resident Evil 4, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man, Callisto Protocol, all the games that we talked about last night. And what are we playing? So what we're talking about? We're talking about the horror game that Stoa's playing, which looks actually pretty cool. I think I'm gonna have to pick that up. The horror song, that's the name of the game. And I put all this stuff in there, and I even put the name of the game, the year it came out, and who published it and stuff like that. So I feel like as far as I'm concerned, I checked all the marks.
YouTube doesn't work like that.
I mean, shit. Do I need to put? Do I need to put thoughts and views are not affiliated with me and all this stuff?
I don't know. I stopped doing all that stuff.
No, I'm gonna wait and see if this gets more problematic. If this video gets more problematic, and if it does, I'm gonna dispute.
Are you gonna be upset, LeRon? Are you gonna be really upset?
I'm not gonna be upset. But I mean, here's the thing about it. YouTube wants us to put all this content out there, and YouTube wants us to put all this content out there because it gets them more views, which gets them more ad buys and all this stuff, which means they get more money and stuff like that. I don't really care about I do care about monetization. I would love to make content streaming my full time gig, but at the rate it's going, the only thing I'm gonna be fucking doing is OnlyFans. So that's the only way I'm gonna be able to make any serious money. Making video content. But
we've been talking about that for a while now, LeRon. I think it's time.
I mean, I'm gonna have to do a summer of pedicures just to get my feet right or something,
Wow, that took a left turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're supposed to wait for the recorded show before we talk about all this stuff. My bad. I'm not frustrated. It's more like I'm just I just had the big question mark above my head. What the fuck's going on right now?
That's fair. Anyways, it's so Stephanie, how's your week been so far? Besides podcasting every night.
Well, that's actually been a saving grace, because my day life has been absolute dog shit. I have this gigantic quarterly presentation on Friday, and because I have a client that's Midwest or Mountain Time, I forget which, this presentation goes from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So I have to present for 3 hours on a Friday evening.
Oh shit.
All about drug trend and financials, and the client's very tough. So I've literally spent every single minute in between meetings getting this done, and it's just just grinding and just getting ready for it, and it's become pretty tedious, and still trying to do my regular day job. So it's kind of been a tough week. So, but it is what it is. You know, you gotta make money somehow, so I can spend it on video games like Stray. Oh, good. Corey's not listening. LeRon, there's a
Yes.
tweet from 8-Bit Games or something. I gotta make sure I credit them correctly because I think they work with Annapurna quite frequently. I am 8-Bit. They're gonna work on a physical copy of Stray.
Oh, nice. There you go. There you go. So I guess here's the question: are you going to go ahead and get the free grab on PlayStation Plus when it happens next month?
LeRon, you won't believe it, but I let my PS Plus subscription expire.
Is that because you're going to renew it when the new tiers come out, or what?
I was considering it, but at the same time, I hadn't used the benefits of that subscription in over a year. So because I'm running really tight on financials, I kind of had to, once my time opens up and I feel like I'll actually use the service, that's when I'll subscribe again. So it's not because, I don't like it, it's dumb. It's more like I haven't used it and it's money that I need. So it's unfortunate because I hear with the Stray on PS Plus Extra or whatever, it's going to have like additional content, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what I think. Then just grab a $10 card, get it for that month. And the cool thing about it is when you reactivate your PlayStation Plus account, like you'll have it in your library again. Ooh. Because the way PlayStation Plus goes, like if let's say this month some crazy game comes out, let's say Street Fighter 6, for whatever reason winds up, being a free game for PlayStation Plus subscribers. If you are, but this is the month that it happens. If you subscribe next month after it's already been removed from like the queue, you don't get access to it. You don't get access to retroactive stuff.
But once you get it while you have the subscription and apps, but sign back up, it's still there. I believe.
It comes back.
That's what I do like about PlayStation. And you know what? That's brilliant, LeRon, because obviously this physical copy of Stray is not going to come out on day one. It's going to be like a later thing, like, oh, here's a physical copy. But Stray is a game like I need to play day one, and I'm going to write the review for bossrush.net. So I'm going to do it, LeRon. I'm going to sign up for a month.
Yeah. Sign up for a month. Sign up for a month, get it, and then like, please enjoy yourself, and then let it lapse. And then when you actually get back on the subscriber service, because I did that a while back. Back when I realized I was no longer really playing like online games on the PlayStation on PS4. I let mine lapse, and then eventually when the PS5 came out, I knew I was going to get back on PlayStation Plus, even though I really don't play online games. I don't know. Like I feel like I'm just unnecessarily spending money sometimes on these services and stuff. But I reactivated my PlayStation Plus on PS5, and then and I went to my library, and like everything was there.
Nice. Actually, question for you. I can't find the tweet now, but Stray, the digital copy is going to be $20, I think, price point.
I think so.
So that's pretty fair, but it's only like an 8-hour game. I'm shocked how short it is. But anyway,
seems kind of long. That surprised me that it's that long.
I know that trailer makes it look like it's like an involved game. I was thinking
like 40 plus or something, but
maybe not 40. I was thinking like a 20-hour game.
Oh yeah, but my question is, for IMBit to put out a physical copy, how much do you think it's going to be physical?
It'll be $30.
30. Well, it depends on what console the physical is, right?
PS5.
If it ends up coming out on Switch eventually or something, because the Switch physical copies are usually more, but
are more expensive. Yeah.
That $10 Switch tax is what we used to make fun of. But yeah, it'd probably be 30 or 35 at the most.
Okay. I
don't see it be unless they like give you a statue of a cat or something, then it might be like 50. But
that would be awesome.
I got her all excited now.
But anyway, so that's my week. It's horrible, but that's just because I have this high pressure presentation at the end of the week. Once it's over, things will be fine. Other than that, as much as I'm exhausted as hell, I'm really excited that I have been recording podcasts every night just to kind of, I don't know, get my mind off of it.
Yeah.
How about you, Corey, other than working on the logo all the time?
Well, here's the thing. So, Ed and I have been kind of reworking how we want Nintendo Power Block to look, and part of it has already been teased through like Twitter, like the 300 logo and the new kind of podcast box art. That's when you download the podcast, like that's kind of the aesthetic we're going for, and everything for Power Block looks really cool. That it makes everything else we do outdated. So like now I'm going through each of the main shows, so Power Block and then bought this show and Crossroads, and I'm aiming to get those refreshed first.
Well, one at a time. Like this is good. This is like a turning point.
But I started sending you guys some of the assets for Boss Rush podcast, and I think it looks pretty good. Like sometimes, so we're incorporating the color yellow into it, and like sometimes like I really like the color yellow, and sometimes I absolutely hate it in specific situations.
Yeah, yellow's not a color that I gravitate to. Sometimes it looks great, and sometimes it's like
it's great. It's great as like an accent color.
Well, but here's the thing. I never was an art major, but I do love art, and I'm pretty darn sure that yellow is opposite on the color wheel of blue. And that's why when you look at, no, it's not. Damn it. What the?
It's orange.
Damn it. Well, it's close enough because the color of yellow is like a yellow orange. Okay. That's why it's clicking in my head because the yellow that you have in there isn't like Tweety Bird yellow, which I think would be kind of obnoxious.
No, it's a little bit darker, in terms of what people think of yellow, which I like, but sometimes when there's a lot of blue and a lot of dark blue and you throw yellow in there, it just looks like dirty white sometimes. And like somebody, so I used to really like yellow. I actually used to have a yellow car, and somebody pointed out to me that they show like somewhere we were painting something somewhere, and I was shown like pale yellow, eggshell, off-white, and white. And now all I can think of is that kind of color spectrum. And now every time I see yellow, I think of that needs cleaned. Like it's not white, you know? And like I know like yellow is a real color. I majored in art, for God's sakes, but like every time I see yellow, I'm just like, that needs scrubbed. Unless there's white involved in whatever the yellow is involved in, I just feel like yellow just looks like dirty white, and I need to clean it.
Well, again, it's all about the shade of the yellow, and I just think because it's more dark and leaning towards orange, maybe that's why I thought about the color wheel. That's why I think it works. And like LeRon said, it's an accent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I like it here. Little... This is really intriguing to listeners, I'm sure. But like the borders around where our cameras go in the video version of the podcast, it's like a dark blue and a yellow shadow. And so that's where it's kind of like throwing me off a little bit. I'm like, should I make that a different color? Should I make that yellow like the light blue that we've kind of incorporated into it? I don't know. I'm just thinking a lot now. I'm in design mode, so. But
you're the creative one. You're the visionary.
Overall, I do like what we're doing. I just would like to switch some things around, but it's not going to debut for a little while. So the Nintendo stuff debuts in 3 weeks, though, which I'm kind of nervous about. But
congrats.
Yeah.
So. Pre-congratulations.
Anyways.
Oh, can I just throw one more thing in about my week?
Oh, yeah.
Not that anybody cares, it's not video game related. My son rode his bicycle without training wheels successfully today.
Ooh.
Oh, good shit.
Today's the day. It was great. And now I can barely keep up with him, and it's all good. Good stuff. I'm very proud.
Nice.
Anyway, that's it.
Man, I feel like all I've done today is podcast stuff. Because like I recorded 3 for work today.
Oh, gosh.
And edited them, and now I'm doing the ones tonight. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so many things. Of course, I'm not on the ones for work. I just record them and edit them and produce them. But man, so if anybody out there wants to be a producer, Corey, we're looking for one.
Corey, I'm legit looking into Destiny 2. And I hate you.
Why?
I've gone back to the store page 4 times this past week. It's getting close. When does that sale end?
I don't know. I already bought it.
Oh.
You should get it though. I'll play with you.
Maybe if I talk to you about it long enough, you'll gift it to me.
We'll see.
I mean, I did just have a birthday.
I am your gift, LeRon.
Oh, does your wife know that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Cool, as long as she knows.
Oh man, I just so the last couple of weeks I've just been in hold on, let's do our patrons first.
Yeah, let's get that done.
Yeah, I want to get that out of the way before I start going into how my brain has been functioning the last 2 weeks. So we have a Patreon. In case you guys were wondering, if you're new here, hi, how are you? We have a Patreon, patreon.com/BossRushNetwork, where you can support us if you would like, and you get some perks like early access to the Boss Rush podcast audio feed, Nintendo Power Block, expansion pass, standard definition, After Dark, that kind of thing, But if you subscribe at the $5 tier, you become a Patreon producer. What does that mean? It means your name gets shouted out on this here program, just like our friends Quentin Jackson, Rebecca Jewell, Adriel Munger, and my wife, Sana Dirrig. I want to thank all of our patrons, not just our $5 patrons, but our $1 patrons and our free listeners, and all those who join us live every Wednesday night on twitch.tv/BossRushNetwork. I feel like we don't promote the Twitch thing enough, which is something I need to get back into as well. So yeah, also all of our content is free right now. So if you're a patron, you just get a few extra bonuses like early access and that kind of stuff. So with that out of the way, do we want to talk about what we've been playing, watching, and doing first, or should I rant about my ever tinkering brain?
I want to hear your rant.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear your rant.
Okay.
It's honestly because I like the way your brains work. Your brain works.
Because our brains work similarly, LeRon. It's just that,
exactly.
It's just the only difference between my brain and yours is that I have the creative fortitude to do it, and not saying that you don't, but you've confessed that you don't. I don't feel like I'm saying anything.
I don't have artistic talent to even sketch. Like I said, writing, that's my thing. I can create characters. The only thing I realize I can't do, I don't do well enough is I don't do enough descriptive analysis for environments and scenes and stuff like that. If for example, say I have a scene when I'm writing and it's some people sitting in a bar or a nightclub, it would be almost the most blandest description of what's going on, of what they see in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Versus I'm not freaking like George R.R. Martin when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah. So anyways, a couple weeks ago, I couldn't sleep. Maybe it was last week. I don't know. I'm up for so long that 3 days ago feels like a month ago. I just went through and I'm just sitting here thinking, how can we tie things together? And Stephanie, we had a little bit of a conversation about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really proud of what we're doing with standard definition and After Dark and 1v1 and stuff like that. I feel like there is a more streamlined way to bring these extra things together because I just feel like they're not getting the ears or the eyes right? And that our main shows do, and that expansion pass does. And like, I kind of use the PAL block feed as like an experiment to kind of see what's working and what doesn't, and what we should do with this feed. And so what I did was I've started putting expansion pass on the Nintendo PAL block podcast feed on Sundays, and it's worked really well. It doesn't get as many listens as the proper episode, but it does do better than the other things that aren't tied directly to a show. And so I've been just like thinking of how do we create an expansion pass type kind of umbrella for Boss Rush things. Now I still kind of want to keep standard definition as like its own thing, as like a fourth leg of the stool, if you will. But like, how do we kind of tie in, 1v1 and Talk the Walk and spoiler casts and that book club idea that we kind of spitballed at the meeting, and how do we tie all these things together so we can kind of put them out without each show having to be on a schedule, but we can put them out on a schedule. You know what I mean? Like, kind of, okay, well, we have 2 interviews and a Talk the Walk and a spoiler cast this month. We can kind of just put them out however we want, right? But they still come out on like Tuesday, So that's how my brain started working, and we don't need to have this conversation right now, but this is just like where my brain's been. And then it kind of spiraled into, well, if we're going to do like if we're going to talk about maybe doing a content revamp, maybe we should do a visual revamp. And this is why I spiraled into making logos and backgrounds and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's how my brain has been working.
Wow.
Also,
on overdrive.
Yeah. And like, I've been really kind of thinking of like how I'm visualizing Boss Rush as a team and as a whole, and as like a big kind of, there's a lot of people involved, and I'm just trying to figure out like what's the best approach to kind of move forward and streamline everything, because I don't want anybody to get burned out. I don't want anybody to feel like they're doing too much, and I just want to be able to kind of put things in different verticals to kind of, okay, well, here's what we're doing. Here's our podcast stuff, right, in this vertical. Okay, here's what, LeRon with his YouTube channel and EXPcast and, other people in the network. Here's what we're doing in this vertical. Here's the website community vertical, like, communities working on the website in Discord, and, here's this vertical. And then here's the overall Boss Rush Media vertical, which I have to kind of like, because, now that we're kind of in the midst of we have patrons and a store and stuff, like, okay, well, Boss Rush Media is our business, so how do we want to kind of present our business on a business style page? So like, these are all the things that I've been thinking about and kind of trying to come up with ideas in free time, and okay, well, what can I get done in this 20 minutes or this 15 minutes or this hour, and that's where my head's at.
That's a lot of that to process for me. Goodness.
I know. It's a lot. And like, what monetization is like a big kind of thing in terms of content creation, right? LeRon, we were just kind of talking about it pre-recording about, YouTube, and you want to monetize stuff, but it's also really tricky when you have gameplay or music or trailers or something running in your video, and it's like, well, how do I get around that? It's tough.
It's tough, and and it's the scary part. It's kind of why like I feel like I've been just doing podcasts this entire time. Like, I don't really stream games that much, and I mean, everybody knows I love games, so like, but like with honestly, I paid more. I got hyper focused on it with Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Because Cyberpunk, the cool thing is CD Projekt Red, for all their foibles with that game and stuff, they actually put in a setting that's called streamer setting, which basically there's music in the game that they never got like the official go ahead that it was safe to play on Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. So you put it on streamer mode and it actually knows to cut certain songs out that they didn't get like the full like go ahead, to like put them on there. And that's a nice thing to have, and stuff like that, But I also feel like, in this day and age of streaming and stuff, like, I mean, I don't understand how like it's not even the Motion Picture Association. It's the Music Association, the American Music Association. What the hell, like did Napster just like throw them completely for a loop to the point where they have to like grab everything? Like if you have like a 2-second sample of a song, like you're gonna get sent to court and shit. I don't get it.
I mean,
like
yeah, that's Napster ruined everything. Let's face it.
It shouldn't be this hard, especially for like if you look at it for what it is. Like like this stuff is already built into the thing that us as content creators are using. It's already built in there, which means like, hey, like license has been paid for.
Yeah, I mean, it's like good luck streaming anything Star Wars or Marvel at this point, right? Because like the mouse is gonna come get you.
Well, that's interesting because I'm actually going to do a retrospective on Obi-Wan as soon as I think it's 6 episodes, right? As soon as I'm going to do it, and I'm going to use clips from the show, but I'm not going to actually have like the audio and the dialogue from the show. I'm going to use clips. I need to experiment with this stuff and see what I can do, as far as that, because like that's going to be the shape of my YouTube channel in the future. Like it's going to be like entertainment. It's going to be more than just games.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I would like to do too, right? And I actually am really enjoying the Obi-Wan show. I
haven't seen episode 4 yet.
Oh, I watched it today. So yeah, it's just I don't know. And I was listening to Jeff Gerstmann's new podcast today. For those who don't know, Jeff Gerstmann, founder of Giant Bomb, left Giant Bomb this week and started his own thing, which is the second Patreon I've signed up for ever. But he was talking about today. He's like, yeah, when we started... He was talking about how, like, when they started Giant Bomb stuff, he's like, yeah, we started it because obviously GameSpot wanted them to do it a certain way, and they didn't want to do it that way. And so people might not know, but Giant Bomb is really influential in terms of, like, they invented the Let's Play, right? Like, they were the first major outlet to do Let's Plays, and the first They
did?
Yeah.
Because I feel like Let's Plays have been around for like forever.
So has Giant Bomb.
Okay.
Giant Bomb is pre-YouTube. They had to build their own video.
Oh,
wow! I did not
realize that. I did not realize that.
Yeah, they had to build their own video player to. Well, I shouldn't say they were pre-YouTube. They were longer than 5 or 10 minute YouTube videos. Like, remember when YouTube used to have a limit on how big your YouTube videos could be?
I remember that.
It was like 10 minutes. They had to build their own video player so they could play games longer than that. And they were the first kind of people to talk over the games they were playing and talk about like what's happening in the game and how they felt about it in a way that was like different than reading a magazine or a website or whatever. And so like they were super influential in that, super influential in how podcasts evolved, right? And and it just he was talking about how when they were bought by CBS Interactive, they weren't forced to do it the way they used to, but it still had that kind of corporate overlay on it. And then they were sold to Red Ventures, and they wanted them to kind of evolve and do something different. And three of them left last year and formed their own thing because they were tired of what they were kind of having to go through. And Jeff left this week, and he was kind of talking about how he just wanted to he's always been really into radio, and he wants to do podcasts and chill streams and stuff. And he said that creators just need to get out of the headspace of we have to do it this way, we have to do this, we have to do that, and just do kind of what they feel like and not worry about things. And that's kind of where my headspace has been too, not just this week, but like the last couple weeks of like, I always get in a tunnel vision of like, we should be doing it this way, we should be doing it that way, we should be doing something, and we should be catering to our fans, or we should be catering to a way where we can monetize easily or whatever. And it's like, no, we shouldn't. We should be doing it how we want to do it. And that's why Nintendo Power Block was almost 3 hours this week. You know, because
hey, that was a good ass damn episode of Nintendo Power Block.
It was, but like that was like the most fun I've had on Power Block in a long time, because we weren't like cutting conversations short. We weren't like, you know, okay, well, somebody needs to be done by this time, or somebody doesn't like to be on a show longer than 90 minutes and stuff. And like, I know that's going to turn people away, but it's also not my problem. You know, I mean, if you don't, if you don't want to listen to a 3 hour podcast, you don't have to listen to a 3 hour podcast. But like, I've just been trying to think of.
I'm sorry. I just had a flash of that movie Bring It On. This is a democracy.
Yeah. That was a great movie. I was at the right age when that movie came out. Let me tell
you. I feel like you're being a cheertator with all this stuff you're talking about.
So I've just kind of been in this. I know I've been very like open to people's criticisms and how people want to do their own thing around here, and I still want people to do their own thing around here. But in the grand scheme of things, I like personally want to like just kind of restructure and revamp and kind of just, I don't want to have to keep guessing. I don't want to have to keep like a timer or say, oh, well, we've been going for, 30 minutes already. We only have a half hour left. Let's get our topics in. Like I want to do things in a streamlined way, and I want to do things how we want to do them. And I don't know how we're going to achieve both things, because both things kind of seem like they're on the opposite end of the spectrum. But also, there's a way, because I listen to three podcasts that do it that way. They kind of do whatever they want, but they kind of put like, they just kind of insert item A into their bonus show here and item B into their bonus show here, and I think we can do that, so I don't know. I know this is not very interesting video game talk for people, and I'm sure half the audience is tuned out, but again,
I think the audience appreciates behind the scenes stuff, though. I really feel like they do, because for there's at least one person in the audience that's trying to figure out how they're going to be a content creator.
Yeah, and so I just for me, I'm not big on trying to get ads for our podcasts that we don't believe in, right? Like randomized ads for the podcast. I thought about it. I've been thinking about it a lot recently, actually. And I'm not into that. Are other people? I don't know.
When you say randomized, you're talking about stuff that doesn't even relate to what we do.
Like when you go on Anchor, right? And there's that kind of monetization tab, and you look through it, and they insert dynamic ads into your podcast. Yeah. We don't do that. I thought about it. I've thought about it a lot, actually, and I keep going back and forth. But it's weird, because when I was thinking the other day, it's Boss Rush. The way Boss Rush is now is not the way I envisioned Boss Rush going.
Oh, really?
But also,
in a good or bad way.
There's not really good or bad, right? It's just,
okay.
I'm just Jack. That's funny, because No, that's funny because the guy that their marketing person about 6 months ago reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do an ad for Manscaped, and I turned it down because it didn't pay anything. We just got free stuff. That's funny though, Jack. It's kind of funny.
I want. You know what? I want a Manscaped gift. I'm gonna have to reach out.
I still have the DM. I can put you in touch with them if you want, LeRon.
Well, just let them know. Just let them know.
I'm not kidding. I can put you in touch with the marketing guy if you want.
Well, cool. I don't think Crossroad gets enough views because I was just on because I need to get ready to update for last night's podcast for tomorrow morning. I don't think we still get enough. We get some strong ones where it's 30 plus plays throughout the week and stuff like that. But it tapers off really by the time it's 2 weeks later.
Yeah, but the difference is you guys put on a really good live show. You're kind of aiming at the live show where we go live to give people a choice on where to listen, right? And I think that's the big, well, not the big difference, but that's a difference between Crossroads and the Boss Rush podcast, for example, right? I love seeing people in the chat talking and stuff.
I would love to see more people in my chat. I would be dead.
Yeah, but sometimes there's 10 or 12 people in your chat.
Yeah, sometimes it's lit. But I don't know, things have changed since COVID's kind of cooled off, because there was a time when Crossroads was getting double digits, and when I say double digits, I mean like high teens, low 20s and stuff like that. And now it's can I get some crumbs? Can I get 3 people in here?
Yeah. So I know I've been talking a long time. I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts. I just I
like what we're doing here. Okay, for people out there who just may happen to be listening, this might be your first time listener. I wasn't always here when Boss Rush was a thing. As a matter of fact, I got asked a couple of years ago. Actually, wait a second. It's about to be 2 years next month, isn't it?
Sure.
I think it is. I think I'll have to check for sure, but I want to say it was right around this time that I got invited on as a guest for Boss Rush podcast, and that was back when Boss Rush podcast was live on Saturdays.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I kind of missed the Saturday thing, but also I don't.
Yeah. So I got invited, and then the idea floated because I was a brand new Twitch streamer, and it was fighting to get my name on YouTube because literally somebody else had my name.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's a conversation.
I remember that.
Miss X's 803, I'll do yoga if you want, but yeah, some girl had my tag that I've had since I was a kid.
Yeah, so I have again, this is where I would like a secretary or a producer to guide my ideas and say, hey, okay, well, let's look at this, let's write it down, and then I sit there and as I'm writing it down, I start thinking about other things and then I forget about it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I like the puzzle pieces we have. How can we put them together to make them look like a proper puzzle instead of when kids kind of glue and tape them all together and say I did it, So, Stephanie, you're awfully quiet.
No, I'm just taking it all in.
She's I'm bored. Shut up.
No, that's not it. It's
she's planning her empire. She's playing her podcasting empire. She's going screw Corey and LeRon. I'm doing this shit on my own.
Yeah, I don't think I could last very long.
I think you know what? Actually, you're female. You do a lot better than we will.
No, because I don't wear cat ear headphones.
Why not? You're so obsessed with cats.
Oh, but you have a cat that likes to wander into your camera view all the time, though.
Shoves an asshole into the camera, yes. But I don't think that's what people will go for. Dad, don't get me started with and I know not all female streamers and whatever do this because I know a couple cool ones. But
you mean the pander?
Yeah, when I see that, it just makes me feel so disgusted as a female. I'm like, ugh, gross. You're the reason why everything just still. Oh, okay, don't get me started. I'm just gonna take a sip of water and we're gonna move on.
Whatever happened to women's lib?
Yeah. So, by the way, I sent you an updated version of the. I like this version better.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, I got the notification. I haven't looked at it yet.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, well, I like that gasp. Let me see what. Ooh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
My thing is like I want to streamline things, and so what the model I've been looking at actually since we started this is Last Stand Media is one of my favorite. It is my favorite podcast out there. Their PlayStation podcast is awesome. Although I know a lot of people don't like the host for various reasons. For some reason, but I've been following him since he worked at IGN, and it's just that the Patreon is so perfect for what we do. It's all podcasts. They have 3 main shows, right? They have their PlayStation show, their Xbox show, and their nostalgia show. And their PlayStation show gets 2 bonus shows a week, which is either like an interview or they have like a legal analyst on sometimes. They have tech people on sometimes to talk about the tech inside. Just different conversations like that. And then the main show is just like a 4-hour podcast about video games, and it's awesome. It's my favorite podcast on the internet. Their Xbox show is similar. Like they do their main Xbox show, and then they have a bonus show one bonus show for that show every week. And then they have their nostalgia show, which people get 1 week early if you're a patron. And like all their bonus shows are exclusive to their Patreon. But in a similar fashion, they're kind of built like we are, I think. And that's just kind of the model that I've been looking at. So, just to, like in terms of streamlining things.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
Nice. Boss Rush has a bright future ahead of it.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, and I think we haven't grown as fast as we should because of the lack of leadership from me in particular, and not being a hard ass or not being like kind of I've always just been second guessing things, or you know what I mean, and I think that's my fault, because I don't know, sometimes I see numbers from other people who start like, I don't know, 6 months ago, and they have already got 2,000 subscribers or whatever, and I'm like, what are they doing that we're not? And like
boosting. And
then I sit there, I'm like, you have a lot of extra free time, you're single, you don't have kids, you work with by yourself or with like 1 or 2 other people, and so like I get frustrated sometimes, but then I also just try to sit there and be like, well, we're doing the best we can with what we're doing. And
exactly. I'd love to do more, but the whole full-time job, being a single mom with a 6-year-old, kind of also holds me back. I mean, it's we do what we can.
Yeah. I mean, like, even starting at 8:30 is like pushing it for me sometimes, like I mean, sometimes my kids aren't asleep, as you guys hear, and sometimes my wife needs me to do stuff, and she's been awfully good, nice, and everything to let me do this early in the evening. Sometimes 5 or 6 nights a week, and I know that's not great, but it's we're on a path. I think in the coming months we're gonna have a kind of like a revamp of content and just trying to do something just to make it easier for people to listen and hear what they want to hear and not hear what they want to hear and that kind of stuff. So anyways, oh look, LeRon texted me.
Yeah, I think you guys might like this.
Oh, there's a cat on there. Hate it. Fired.
I love it.
So, yeah, there's a little behind the scenes for everybody.
Yeah. You get to see how the sausage gets made.
Yes.
I will never not think that's not skeevy anytime I hear that.
Right? Oh, gosh.
What's wrong, LeRon? You don't like a good sausage?
I do like a good sausage. That's
good,
the problem.
Meaty, juicy sausage.
Like give me give me like your biggest plumpest bratwurst. I'm there. I'm sorry, I should be saving all this for After Dark. My bad. You guys are getting a preview of After Dark right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check out Boss Rush After Dark. It's fun. Anyways. So, anybody doing anything fun? I know we kind of already talked to each other about what we've been playing on other shows, but has anybody done anything different?
What we're doing, like playing or whatever?
Yeah.
Are you there? You guys were there for me to talk about it yesterday. I've only been playing a level or two of Kirby, and I did just restart Ghost of Tsushima, but I didn't really make much progress because I got very sleepy. So I am starting to play games again, guys. So watch out.
Watch out. Games.
But that's it. That's it.
LeRon, are you doing anything different besides staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning to edit a podcast?
To edit a podcast that gets copyright struck?
Yeah, see? Look how much work you put into that.
I know. I put all that work in. And can't even enjoy it. Well, actually, no, it's enjoyable. Like, it's available right now on my YouTube channel and stuff. It's not going away. And I'm not making edits because YouTube does give you the opportunity to trim it out. But trimming it out would actually kill the flow of the conversation.
Yeah.
So it's in there. Go check it out. I'll plug my YouTube channel later on. But actually, I haven't really picked up anything usually Monday through Wednesday is just my spare time is dedicated to promoting and creating shows and stuff like that with you guys. So I usually don't get any gaming. I don't usually start gaming until Thursdays, if I do that. Yeah, yeah. So nothing's been new since my return to Mass Effect.
Okay. I've been
dreaming about Destiny.
I mean, last night after we got off, I was like, I'm going to bed, and guess what? I did not go to bed. I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey for 2 hours.
What?
I cleared out 2 more islands.
You're like a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, I know. But then today, I got up and watched Obi-Wan, and spoilers, it's good. So
good.
I watched
because I thoroughly enjoyed episode 3.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Don't. I've already seen the preview because Disney Plus sends me the trailer tweets.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of know what's going to be happening, but of course, the trailers are more like a teaser, so you never know until you see it.
Yeah. But there were we'll just say there were video game Easter eggs in this, and it was cool to see.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So I really like the show. I think it's really good. My one question is, why did we need it? Besides the fact that it's Disney and they want to make money, but there was no real. It's kind of like why they made the Solo movie. Why did we need that? I feel like everything that we need to know about Han Solo has been fleshed out over the movies. By the way, though, Jon Favreau said he wanted to make a Solo 2. In a recent interview, he's like, "Yeah, I would do that. I would do that." And I'll be like, "Yes, please." I really liked Solo.
I enjoyed Solo too. It's crazy how I enjoyed that movie more than I thought I would because I did not see it in theaters because like I said, my original thought was, why are we having this movie? We don't need this movie, stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't wind up watching it until long after it came out for home release, and then I saw it and I was like, damn, I should have went to the theater and saw this.
Yeah, I think I saw it when it came to Disney Plus is when I watched it. Just because I don't like going to the theater. But Yeah, I really liked it. But also today I watched the premiere of Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I know that's out. Like, I'm trying to figure out like, you need to tell me, Corey. Do I need to invest my time in it?
I think it's worth watching. I
Mm.
think you have to. It is like, it's not Falcon and the Winter Soldier or Doctor Strange. It is a kid in high school learning how to deal with being a teenager in high school who's different, who gets superpowers. It's adorable. It's just fun. It feels like the first Spider-Man movie. The first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. It's fun. It revolves around kids and their kind of issues, and the girl that plays Kamala Khan is just, she's perfect. Like, it's just shows really cute and endearing and fun, and it is a good palate cleanser to what the MCU has put out recently. So it's fun because she's like a huge fan of the Avengers, right? Like, that's her whole story, and everybody should watch it. I think it's fun. So I don't want to spoil anything though. Well, maybe we'll talk a little bit about the first episode next week, but it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you guys will like it. There's actually, I think there's a Shang-Chi Easter egg in it as well. So
okay, I'm in.
I'm in. So yeah, that's kind of it though. I've been busy doing other things.
Of course I'm ready. Of course I'm ready to get up in the morning to watch the new Star Trek.
Of course you are. I'm glad there's things that I'm watching on TV, because like I'm in comfort game mode, so like I've just been playing the same game, but I'm glad there's other things that I'm doing, like watching TV and movies and stuff. You know, it's just been a nice change of pace, I think. So I don't know, I'm kind of in that gaming rut that we talked about like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But it's not that I'm in a rut. I'm just enjoying the one game I've been playing for the past 3 weeks.
Dude, that is me. Like I just have these runs where it's like I will play the same game. Like you guys have heard, like past couple of weeks I've been playing Einhander for PS1, a game that actually we were wrong last night. It came out in 1997, so it is actually older than Metal Gear Solid.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, which is crazy because I think I'm gonna do an Einhander retrospective for Crossroads.
Do it.
The one thing I can say about that game is like the soundtrack is phenomenal. Like I forgot how good Square Enix soundtracks were from back in the PS1 era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that soundtrack actually makes me play the game more because like it is just. It's a good electronic soundtrack, but it's got so many tones like high energy stuff. It's got like the dancey stuff. It's got the low techno stuff. Like it's got something for everybody. It has its highs, it has its lows, it has its chills, it has everything. Like I love it, and that's one of the main reasons why I keep playing it. Like it's crazy. That's one of my games. That's one of my games. I was stuck on a deserted island, and there's our topic for tonight. If we were stuck on a deserted island, and we could have 5 games, 5 games forever.
5 games forever.
And it doesn't count games that we're waiting for, right?
I would say it doesn't count games that we're waiting for, but let's say our bonus pick is that we can grab it from the future.
All right, 5 games plus 1 bonus pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we gonna go round robin, or are we just gonna kind of name them all at once?
Let's go round robin. I feel like it's easier to flow when you do a round robin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who's going first?
You guys want to flip a coin?
I'll go first.
Okay, cool.
I'm the host. I'll go first.
All right, so you're stuck on a deserted island or in an abandoned city or whatever, and you can only have You have 5 games plus 1 game that you can pluck out from the future.
Okay, well, game number 1 for me is Tetris. It's the perfect video game, and no other game comes close to the perfection of Tetris. So that's I don't really. I mean, everybody knows Tetris. Everybody knows what happens in Tetris. It's just it's my favorite game of all time, and nothing will ever change that. It's just perfect, and maybe I should specify which version of Tetris.
Yeah, I was about to say which one, because I'm thinking NES version or Game Boy version.
No, I think I'm gonna go with Tetris Effect actually, because you get all the sweet tunes, and the cool, like just the cool visuals, and I mean I have a couple complaints about Tetris Effect, but overall I think it's probably the best version. Because you get all the quality of life improvements, like pressing down to make the piece drop faster, and the double rotations, and saving a piece, and then you get the extra music and the visuals and stuff. So Tetris Effect is probably the version of Tetris I would pick.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
70, you want to go next?
Okay, I'll go with the most obvious one. It's gonna be.
It's a Zelda title. Oh, Ocarina of Time. Okay.
All right. I don't give a fuck about what y'all think. Okay, that's gonna I will play that game till the day I die, and I want that with me. Every time I just need to feel safe in my safe place, I will play Ocarina of Time.
When are we doing the Let's Play, Stephanie? When are we doing the stream, the team stream?
Speaking of getting copyright claimed, goodness, that'll. We have to figure out a way around it.
I think you'll be safe.
No, we won't get a strike. We'll get a claim, but we're not monetized, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's just the emails are annoying. Is pretty much all we're complaining about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. I mean, what can I say? It's nostalgia is king, and like I said, it's just not just nostalgia. But when I play it, I just feel this level of comfort, and I know the game like the back of my hand. So it's got to be a game that has, I don't know, that kind of mind-numbing effect. If I'm on a stranded on an island or something, I'm gonna be pretty fucking stressed out. So.
Yeah. I get it.
All right. Well, I'm about to take us way back.
Monster Hunter.
Because no. When I say I'm going way back, I'm talking Bionic Commando for the NES.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, that is in my top 10 like all-time favorite NES games.
That does not sound like a game that you would be into.
Really? You don't think so?
No, man.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because when I think LeRon Dawkins, I really only think about Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter and Mass Effect.
And OnlyFans. By the way, my token's expired. I need a refund. I don't know if that's how that works. Anyways, no, yeah, I mean, like you think about Mass Effect, you think about Monster Hunter, and just these types of games, like Bionic Commando, really,
Dude, I'm serious. Like the old school Bionic Commando on NES, which is technically the sequel to Capcom's Commando game. The game is so simple that's almost pretty. Well, actually, I feel like all NES games are so simple to the fact that they're just overcomplicated for no reason. And Bionic Commando was one of those because it was a game where you literally could not jump. You had the grapple arm, and that's how you traversed. That's how you traversed and moved and did your platforming stuff and things like that. And it's fun. And I know the game like the back of my hand. You sit me down in front of it. I can definitely I know which areas to go to and what order to go to. I know what equipment to take with me and stuff like that. It does not matter, I know how to successfully wiretap and that all sorts of stuff. Yeah, and that was an NES game from way back in the 80s.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
good to know, I guess.
Yep, I love me some Bionic Commando. So like, yeah, so when they remade it with Bionic Commando Rearmed, I got that, and of course the Bionic Commando game that came out on PS3, I got that. I got that too, and I enjoyed that. Like, people didn't really like that game, but I enjoyed it. I'm a fan.
Yeah, that game got a lot of good reviews, and then it had a lot of revisionist history. I think I remember.
Yeah.
I never played it, so I don't know. I guess is it my turn? I guess it's my
turn. Your turn.
I guess. So I guess for me, the second game I would pick would be Destiny 2. It just has so much to do. It has a lot of It has a lot of replayability. It's fun to play. The weapons are fun to use. It's always fun to discover new things. It's just it's my forever game. It's just one of those games that I will probably only stop playing Destiny when they stop making Destiny. And for the foreseeable future, it does not look like it's ending anytime in the next decade or so. So, yeah, I mean, Destiny is it's fun. I love all the classes. Plus, like, the thing is, I could play that whole game, finish everything with one character class, and then go through with another character class and do it all over again and have a totally different experience, and it's just one of those games too. So, Warlocks suck.
All right.
It's an inside joke. It's fine. They don't really suck.
Yeah, so I'm like,
yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
People who listen to the show and play Destiny, they'll get it.
I won't get it yet until I start playing Destiny.
Although, friend of show Andre, I think, is a Warlock. So sorry, buddy.
For me, my second pick. So, my rationale for picking these games, by the way, they're not my top 5 favorite games of all time. It's like, all right, if I need to be in survival mode here, like, I got to be tactical about how, I pick these games. So Ocarina of Time was my chicken noodle soup, right? Is my old reliable, whatever. Next is Stardew Valley. Okay.
My boyfriend would love you right now.
Well, no, here's the thing. I'm not like such a hardcore like farming sim type person. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when was the last time I talked about a Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley? Not like in a very long time. But I do have a nostalgic love for Harvest Moon 64, but since it was such like a small game, I wouldn't want to bring that. Stardew is a bit more up to date, and the reason why I would pick Stardew Valley in this scenario is because there's something a little bit different every day. It requires like a maintenance day by day thing, so I just feel like that's a good game to bring when you're stranded because it keeps your mind busy. It keeps you focused on tasks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like that would be good for me mentally to bring. So that's why I would pick Stardew Valley as number 2.
Oh, he got up and walked away. I feel like I should wait for him to come back.
I think I disgusted him. He's like, all right, first she likes cat games and now farming sims.
And look at him with his 3 Nintendo Switches back there.
I know, goodness gracious. Since we're waiting on him, I have not had the time to finish the latest episode of Pow Block, and did you guys talk about your predictions for the next direct?
For the direct? Yes, we did.
Okay, because
it was pretty wacky.
Okay, I want to be able to make my predictions. I don't know. I just Nintendo now that Sony's did their fantastic showcase. Now I'm just like, all right, Nintendo, what do you do? What are you going to do to be able to
bring it?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. Like I told you before, but I really enjoy this.
I'm so glad.
And like, you know what? This came right on time because like a week later, we get information about the Callisto Protocol, and we have a definitive date for like the actual Dead Space remake. I love this book.
Good.
I love this book. Like, actually, I love seeing like the armor and stuff. Like, it's got a breakdown for the armor and the weapons and all that stuff, and it's like, man, this is gorgeous.
That's great because I love it any sort of like art book paraphernalia, but sometimes you never really know, especially if you're buying it online, you can't really tell if it's going to be like a decent one. Well, I don't know. I guess it I don't know. Maybe I'm talking about when I buy games, like a collector's edition. It says, oh, it comes with an art book, and then I get like something this big.
And the art
with,
book is some bullshit.
5 pages long. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
Like, I actually got myself.
Now the one came on Metroid Dread Collector's Edition was pretty nice.
Should have gotten that one. See, Yeah, I think I mentioned it in a podcast previously, but I have my latest art book that I got was The Last of Us.
Nice.
Yeah, I got to see all the grotesque looking monsters.
All the monsters.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my second pick, and this is gonna be a little. I can already feel like it's gonna be just a little controversial, but anybody that knows me knows I love like music games and stuff like that. So if I'm gonna be stranded, like I need an arcade edition of Dance Dance Revolution Extreme.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not my ultimately favorite mix, but DDR Extreme had the most songs available on it in the cabinet. After unlocks and everything. Because my favorite version is actually DDR 7th mix, which is the one before it. But I need something to like keep myself sane and also keep myself in shape. And here's a little bit of history for you. I looked at DDR as like one of those games like you will never catch me jumping up and down on it like an idiot. And one day like I was in the mall, walked past the arcade, and like I heard like this really random song, and it was like a cover from a disco song, and I was like, you know what? I'll pop in a couple of credits just to see what's up with that. That sent me on my journey, and it sent me on a pretty good journey too, because like at the time I was overweight. I was 301 pounds.
Oh.
And I actually dropped 80 pounds playing that game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dropped 80 pounds playing that game. Like, yeah, like I'll say it for a funny story, but people literally thought I was either doing crack or like I caught a disease.
Oh. No, I mean, again, you're thinking, what was it, strategically, and it would make total sense. Like that would be actually a wise choice, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a personal fan of it, but again, if you're thinking of being stuck somewhere, that's actually a great idea. I mean,
with all the music games I play, like it'd be really easy to pick like DJ Max for the PSP or the Vita and stuff like that. But that means I'm sitting down playing it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Get those endorphins going.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that will to live a lot. Will to live going. Sorry, I can talk.
What's your third pick?
Well, it's not DDR, because I'm lazy, but I will say that my next game is Breath of the Wild, because that game is awesome. I just think like there's something that's always going to be special about that game, I think, in terms of the zeitgeist and people playing it and the discovery and just roaming the world, discovering things, not always having to fight anything, or, the shrines and the puzzles were really unique, or the DLC, or Survivor Island, or, there's just a lot in that game. And I put 240 hours into that game and still feel like I could go back and play it and probably put 250 more hours in it, right? It's a unique, special game, and I just, gosh, now I just want the sequel, but I mean, Breath of the Wild is just a special game, and I don't think it will ever leave like a top 3 game for me. So
I get it, and I'll just piggyback off it. That's one of my choices. I mean, I know I have Ocarina of Time there already, but Breath of the Wild is completely different. Like you said, you could pour hundreds and hundreds of hours into it and still not discover everything. And I think that's kind of the key point. Like, I can spend the rest of my life stranded on an island trying to find all those Koroks. So.
Yeah. So is that your third pick, Stephanie?
Yeah. Just because he mentioned Breath of the Wild, I'm like, I might as well piggyback off of that.
Steal my picks. It's fine.
Well,
no.
Well, guys, you guys are going to be happy because like my third pick is also a Legend of Zelda title, but it's not any of the ones that you guys mentioned so far. Mine is definitely A Link to the Past.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I knew that was
the reason why is because like A Link to the Past came out when I feel like NES and Super NES games were still games that engaged your imagination, and even though like Super NES games definitely were more fleshed out than NES games were, there was still so much headcanon you could spin just playing like some of these games, especially like Link to the Past, because Link to the Past is technically the third game in the series, overall, but still, there's still not much you knew about the world and the lore of Hyrule and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
So like there was a ton of headcanon. I remember thinking who the hell is Aghanim? How did he come to power? All this stuff, how is he a crony of Ganon? All this stuff, and also why is Ganon a pig in one game? He's a humanoid in another game. What is going on here and stuff like that? Yeah. So I've said this before, but there was something really magical about old NES and Super NES titles and stuff like that. Which my next pick is also a Super NES game.
Dot.
It's funny. I don't have any current games on this list yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid Assassin's Creed Odyssey because that's the game I'm playing right now. So I guess I'm going to for this moment. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a game that I will.
Why? I asked that not in judgment. I asked that out of real curiosity.
For realsies?
Who are you playing with?
You're
on a desert island.
Oh my gosh, I hate you so much. I've never been a huge Mario Kart fan until Mario Kart 8, and I just feel like I think the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 versions of Mario Kart are awful, and the Game Boy Advance version.
I can agree.
Also,
I can agree.
Double Dash was okay, but I just never it. It's probably good. I just didn't play it a lot because I didn't have any friends growing up, and like you said, LeRon, playing Mario Kart by yourself for a while is not great.
Yeah.
I hated the Wii version. The DS and 3DS versions were pretty good. I'll give it that. But Mario Kart 8 is just it's just awesome. I don't know what to say. I love the track design, although Wave 1 of the DLC it kind of was really disappointing to me, to be honest. But the track design is really clever, even on the remake levels. I love all of the characters that they've included. I wish they would include more. Playing it doesn't feel as rubber bandy as the old style Mario Kart games, although the blue shell is still some BS. It's just fun. It's just fun. I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe by myself for most of it. My wife played with me a little bit, but I probably put 40 or 50 hours in on the Wii U version, and then another 40 or 50 hours in it on the Switch version. It's just fun. It's just fun. Rosalina's my girl with the elongated kind of blue submarine cart. It's just fun. Mario Kart 8 is a top 10 game for me.
All right.
So
nice.
Also, if I find somebody else on this deserted island, we can play together.
It also depends if you have internet on the deserted island.
Then that would cut Destiny out for sure. Nope.
Oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't.
Wireless hotspot. Anyways.
Nice.
Stephanie, what's your next game?
So, I've had lots of whimsical titles so far. Ocarina, Breath of the Wild, Stardew Valley. My next one is going to be Red Dead Redemption 2. Dead 2.
That's a twist.
Right? Well, I'm new to that franchise, so because I haven't played the original Red Dead, like, obviously I wouldn't pick it. And I would pick Red Dead 2 because it has an amazing setting and atmosphere that I would just love to explore over and over again. And if I just feel really aggressive, I can just go around shooting and robbing people. Like, I can, go up and down that morality scale.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, while the endings aren't really so drastic, depending which path you take, like, it's really not that different, but it's just how you die and how people remember you. I don't know. There's something I remember that was probably the first more modern game that I've played where the graphics really just took my breath away. Because for those that don't know me very well, I didn't have a lot of gaming opportunities growing up because my parents thought video games would turn your brain into mush. So I had
video
a very
games
limited.
Were the devil.
Yeah, and I had a very muted experience. And then when I got to college and was able to do what I wanted, that's all fine and well, but I just didn't have the money. So I never got the latest console and the latest greatest game. So I missed out on when things started to get really good, at least graphically. So when I got my PS4, one of the first few games that I'd played in a long time, just someone recommended Red Dead 2. So I plopped it in, and traveling the Wild West as an outlaw, it's gorgeous. And I don't even have to do any main missions. I could literally just go fishing or hunting. So that's number 4.
That's a game I've never played. I did buy it when it was on sale, like 2 or 3 months ago, though.
It's on my list, but I haven't played it. And the good news is, like, I hear it stands the test of time very well.
Nice.
There is supposedly a Series X and PlayStation 5 version of that game coming soon.
Yeah, I've heard the rumor too, actually.
Huh.
But also, Rockstar charges for their games upgrades, so...
Yeah, they do.
Boo.
Guess we'll find out, I guess, but...
Okay, so I promised that the next game was also going to be a game from the Super NES, and I am not going to disappoint. Well, technically, it originated on Super NES, but I actually want to play the either the PlayStation PS1 version of this game or the Nintendo DS version of this game.
Oh, I'm not sure if this is what I'm thinking about.
I know exactly what game it is.
That would be Chrono Trigger.
Yep.
You would really take the PlayStation 1 version over the Super Nintendo version?
Well, over the Super Nintendo, yeah, because like Toriyama like came in and like did the and like redid the art designs and actually gave like he actually did like FMVs like of like critical scenes and stuff like that. So like this, for example, a scene when Chrono gives his life to save his teams in the first encounter of Lavos and stuff. Like that was
spoilers.
Actually, when did that game come out?
I don't know. I've never played it, so I don't know. I just always heard.
That's right. You never played it. I'm so sorry.
I just saw...
It came out in '95. That game.
I don't really care. I was just messing with you. My thing. The reason why I said that is because I always heard the PlayStation 1 version is like the worst version because it runs at half the frame rate and the load times are astronomically bad.
You know what? It never really bothered me. It honestly didn't. Like even now, like I have it on my hacked Vita, and it's the PS1 version, and it really doesn't bother me honestly. There's like this dramatic pause, right before you get in the battle and stuff like that. But honestly, the reason why I actually take it over the Nintendo DS version is because they changed some of the music. Like it kind of sounds the same, but it's not the same. Yeah. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, there's like, if you go on YouTube, there's a breakdown of like the differences of every version of Chrono Trigger, including the PC version.
Yeah, I've always heard that the DS version is the best and the PlayStation 1 version is the worst.
The DS version technically is the best. But like I said, it's the whole thing with the music, and like if you guys haven't realized with me, like video game music is a thing for me, So like I would like the when it comes to soundtracks, I would like the untouched version of the soundtracks, you know, which is why like I am so glad I still have my PC version of GTA 3, you know, because like everyone has got the remastered ones now, you know, like you're missing the Michael Jackson songs, and that's just one part of the game that you know, music in the game that you're missing. You know, there's other stuff that you're missing out on, you know, because they couldn't get the licenses or stuff's in dispute now and things like that. And, you know, like I feel like it really ruins the experience because there's something about jumping in your car, like in GTA San Andreas, because I can't remember which song it was in GTA. It was bad in GTA 3, but in San Andreas it was Beat It. And like in this remastered collection, right, that's out right now, you don't get those songs. And there's other songs you're missing too. Like yeah, the soundtrack's been very, very neutered. Yeah. So I'm kind of a stickler for like when original music and stuff and things like that, you know, because I really enjoy video game music.
All right,
nice.
My last pick is going to be obvious. I'm just say that right now. Or number 5.
So I've been going back and forth trying to figure out. So I know I'm in Assassin's Creed Odyssey mode, and like part of me really wants to pick that because it's so good. Because the combat is very fluid. The movement is awesome. Just the world is huge, and you can go hunting, you can go bounty hunting, you can go doing all these things in the game and not even touch the main quest for as long as you want to. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I should pick this, but I'm not. I'm just not. And I'm sorry everybody for disappointing no one. The game I'm gonna pick is gonna surprise you both, I think.
Bring it.
It's a game that is very near and dear to my heart. It beat out Twilight Princess, which was also a game I thought about picking, but I already put a Zelda game on there, so I'm not going to put another Zelda game on there. It beat out Super Mario 3D World. It beat out a lot of other of my favorite games. Final Fantasy X.
Ooh.
I absolutely love Final Fantasy X. It is, I love the characters. I love the story. I think, the sphere grid is a great way to level up characters.
Sphere grid was like the greatest thing they introduced for a level up system in Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Fun fact, if you send Yuna through the Black Mage sphere, she's like 5 times more powerful than Lulu. So there you go, guys. Pro tip.
Cool. I will note that for when I replay it on Switch.
It's just a game that I remember really fondly, and it wasn't my first Final Fantasy game, but it was my first one that I absolutely fell in love with. And then I worked.
What was your first Final Fantasy game? I don't think you've ever said. I know you never played 10.
9.
Okay.
You mean 7?
That was 7. I'm sorry, 7. Yeah.
Yeah. So I played 9 because GamePro magazine had this big, like 300-page issue, and its cover story was Final Fantasy X, and I got really excited, so I went and bought I bought 7, 8, and 9 at GameStop in anticipation for 10. I played about half of 9, and then I started playing probably another season of Madden or something. I don't remember. But Final Fantasy X came out, and I played the crap out of that game. I level 99 everybody. I went through the whole sphere grid with almost everybody. I found all of the Ultima weapons. It's just a game that I loved, and I've purchased several times since then, like the PS3 HD remaster, the Switch remaster, the PlayStation or the Xbox One remaster. Like I own it almost everywhere for some reason, and it's just a wonderful game that I think I know the memeable laugh is. That whole scene though is super endearing. It's not like they're really laughing, right? It's like it's just like a I need to make you feel better, so you need to laugh, and it's just I don't know. And it doesn't. Another thing I like about it too is that it doesn't really have spoilers, I guess, for Final Fantasy X. But it doesn't really have a happy ending, you know. Which was something that was very real at a time in my life. So yeah, it's a great game. So Final Fantasy X.
Corey, I love you, but I also hate you because that was my fucking 5th game.
Oh my god, why are y'all so alike?
Yeah, because for me, my approach was similar and different. Again, I'm going for variety here, right? So why not round it out with a really lengthy RPG? And there's just something about Final Fantasy X that was actually my first Final Fantasy game. Mm-hmm. I got the 10 and the 10-2 bundle.
The bundle?
Yeah. Uh-huh. So I don't know. So the fact that I'm familiar with it, the fact that game can go on forever and ever, and I can tackle it many different ways. I'm not going to repeat everything that Corey just said, but that literally was my 5th pick.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good one.
Final Fantasy X-2, not so much, but 10.
Yeah.
10-2 definitely shows its age and where video games were in a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe we wouldn't get too far today in today's culture, but maybe it would. I don't know.
All right. Well, I mean, this is not going to be a big shock to anybody.
Final Fantasy X.
Final Fantasy X it's not the one I would pick. Even though I did enjoy Final Fantasy X, it's not the one I would pick. If I were to pick a Final Fantasy one, it would be 6. But Final Fantasy 6, I've already got enough old school titles on here, so it's time to bring us.
You already have 2 Super Nintendo titles, LeRon.
Exactly. So it's time to bring us into the modern world of gaming. And the modern world of gaming, there's only one game that's going to carry me for the rest of my life. If this were to be the final one in this franchise, it would definitely be Monster Hunter World / Iceborne.
Nice.
Of course, it's a Monster Hunter game, and Monster Hunter, I cut my teeth on Monster Hunter. It was a brand new game, and nobody knew what the fuck was going on with this game. And I've come a long way with the series and the franchise. I still love it. I mean, I attempted to create a podcast show for it. It's going to be coming back. And yeah, I can't say it. The game has grown and evolved over all these years. It's kind of like talking to people who started playing World of Warcraft day one, and now looking at what that game is now. And do they still update that game now? I don't really hear any news about that game anymore.
What, World of Warcraft? There's a new expansion coming out in 2 or 3 months, I think.
I remember when people were spazzing out because you had the humanoid pandas. Yeah. Being introduced to the game, I remember that.
I think the big game now is Final Fantasy 14, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Which is a game I want to play, but I don't have a PlayStation, and I don't want to play it on PC because I'm not a dork. So
I don't have the mental bandwidth. I don't have the mental bandwidth for that one. I'm sorry.
LeRon, we could play it together. I'm trying to convince you to play Destiny. You're trying to convince me to play Monster Hunter. We'll meet in the middle and play Final Fantasy 14.
I feel like that's I feel like that's left field. That's not middle. That's left field.
Whatever.
Because Destiny, I have a very strong feeling I'm going to enjoy Destiny when I start playing it because when Destiny had its drought, all his Destiny players came to Monster Hunter World. And that's how I met some really cool people during my run in Monster Hunter World on PS4. Everybody was coming. I'm man, we love this game. And then as soon as Destiny had its revamp, everybody, all those guys disappeared.
I'm trying to figure out what was coming out in Destiny when Monster Hunter came out, because I know a lot of people really. When did Monster Hunter World come out?
Let me look it up right now. I want to say Monster Hunter World's release.
I can't remember if it was World or Iceborne.
No, Iceborne is way too new. Monster Hunter World was in 2018. It came out in January 26, 2018.
Right.
And I want to say I started running into people on Destiny around April.
I'm trying to do mental math here. So 2022, Witch Queen. 2021 did not get an expansion. 2020 was Beyond Light. Before Beyond Light was Shadowkeep, which people hated, but that was 2019. And before
All right.
Shadowkeep. Okay, so Forsaken, everybody loved Forsaken, but people did not like the seasons that came after Forsaken because they were just horrible, and they didn't like Destiny was kind of in that phase where
Destiny's been out since 2014.
Destiny 1 came out in 2014, yeah.
Wow.
The
Wait,
alpha
I thought Destiny was originally on in the PS4 Xbox One generation.
Nope, 360 PS3 is
Oh wow.
the alpha came out in 2013. Which I remember playing, and it was I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, like one of my old school Monster Hunter friends is actually trying to get me on Destiny right now too.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was during that time when Bungie was trying to get away from Activision. They didn't really have their seasonal format that they have now in place. And so right after Forsaken came out, a lot of people dipped to other games like Final Fantasy XIV or Monster Hunter, or I think Dark Souls 3 might have been out around that time as well, and people were excited for that. Overwatch was still pretty big at the time. People were dipping for that. So, like, there's a lot of other games that people left Destiny for, and I just remember that really clearly. I was like, well, I guess I'm not playing Destiny right now because nobody's playing it with me. So, yeah, I actually remember that time because that was actually this expansion. Like, I finished the main campaign, but after the main campaign, there's always like a secondary like storyline that flows through the rest of the year. And Forsaken was the only storyline that I did not finish after the main campaign, and I kind of missed the whole arc there. So because people weren't playing, and I just didn't find a.
I remember when the Destiny revamp was coming out. Like everybody that I was playing with that was originally Destiny players, because remember the revamp came out and then they were giving away like the whole game for free.
Well, what were they giving out? Oh, the vanilla Destiny was free, and it gave
vanilla.
It gave you like the first 3 campaigns before Forsaken and like the multiplayer suite and stuff. So yeah, it became free to play around that time too. Yeah, because so many people were leaving.
Yeah, when those guys were getting ready to jump back on Destiny, they had convinced me to give Destiny a look because the free one was out.
It's still free to play. Like there's still a base version that is free to play. The new Light Quest, which I would actually recommend you do, LeRon, if you are serious about Destiny, and just to get through it, because it takes about an hour. I would do it. I would actually run through it with you because I hate the new Light campaign. It is so bad. It is nothing what Destiny is like. But all players that log in for the first time have to do it.
Oh yeah. Oh really?
Yeah. So yeah, it's just I hate the new Light campaign. I've done it twice and I will never do it again.
All right.
Unless you need help, because then I would run it with you.
Well, I will try not to torture you. That's the cool thing about me. Like I will do what we call them Smurf quests in Monster Hunter. Like when we're doing basically charity work to carry somebody, you know, because there are missions like for first timers that they're hard as shit. You know, it's funny. You know, it's like I'll come in. You know, I'll come in and use like the jokiest weapon I have in my arsenal, and I'll clear the mission for them. Yeah. And they're like, wow, how'd you do that? I was like, I just play the game.
Yeah, we call them blueberry missions.
Blueberry missions,
because because all the gear you get is like I'm sure Monster Hunter has this too, but like it's like the base is green, then blue, then purple, then exotics are yellow, right? So there's like a color tier system, and blue is like the common gear that you find out in the world when you're just doing basic stuff, and we just call everybody that wears the blue gear blueberries.
Oh, yeah.
You're not even there. You're a kindergarten.
Kindergarten, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. New lights are called kindergartens.
Well, so cute.
I'm being very enticed. Wow, it feels like I'm being lured to the dark side.
If I send you DMs later, will you buy Destiny? Play with me?
Woo!
All right, everybody. It's time for our bonus pick.
Oh yeah, I forgot we are doing that.
Yeah. It's time for our bonus pick. It's a game that's either on the horizon or you know for sure it's going to be developed and stuff like that, and you absolutely want it.
So, man, as much as I want to pick Breath of the Wild 2, I'm not going to, because I already put Breath of the Wild on my list.
There's so many Zelda games on this list.
Hogwarts Legacy is going to be that game on my list. Because I have really high hopes, and I'm prepared to be disappointed, but I'm ready to be disappointed.
I think it's actually going to be I feel like when it first comes out, it's going to be probably one of the best games that anyone that's even remotely interested in playing it would play. Mm-hmm. And then I think it'll fizzle out. You know, unless it has a good roadmap for like DLC and stuff, I think it'll fizzle out then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's going to be super obvious what mine's going to be, even though Hogwarts Legacy actually sounds like a good choice. But for the sake of being different, because Corey and I had 2 matching games, it's obviously going to be Stray. I don't care it's only 8 hours long. I don't care. You play as a fucking orange cat, and I assume if I'm stranded on this island, I won't have Paxil with me, and I'm going to miss that orange furball so much. So it's Stray. Stray.
And given that you be playing the game from perspective behind the cat, yeah, like the cat's butt will be in your face, just like Paxil's is.
Exactly, just like old times.
Okay, my future pick, is going to have to be. It's not Monster Hunter, like, because I don't know for sure if Monster Hunter 6 is coming. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's coming, but I can't hedge bets on that.
That game is coming.
My future pick is going to be the Dead Space remake. Because I'm pretty sure I won't be on the stranded island before Callisto Protocol comes out. I feel like anything like that's coming out 2023 and beyond that's future enough for me.
Mm-hmm. All right, nice, good choice.
So here's a question. So like I jotted down every game you guys picked. If you guys were to pick a game for one of us, if one of you guys were to pick a game off of your list for me to play, which would it be? And I know y'all gonna say the freaking Ocarina of Time. I know it.
Like on my list for you?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've played all the other games on my list besides Destiny, so I would say Destiny. Just because I know how into Monster Hunter you are.
Well, I have Breath of the Wild, but I haven't played it. I own it, but I haven't played it. I do have Tetris Effect in my library. I think I've only played it like a couple of times. Mario Kart 8, I played a few times, but I do not enjoy that game. And Final Fantasy 10, I played it but never beat it.
I would say for me, Breath of the Wild then.
Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
Stephanie, from my list, I would say give. Wait, have you played Chrono Trigger?
I have not.
Okay, I would say give Chrono Trigger a pick. I would actually want to throw it Corey's way too, but Corey knows like I want him in the Monster Hunter ecosystem.
Awesome.
So if I'm gonna throw him into Monster Hunter, I prefer for him to play like the more realistic Monster Hunter game. Not saying there's anything wrong with Rise. I enjoy Rise, but World is my Monster Hunter.
So, man, the thing is Monster Hunter World and Iceborne is on sale on Xbox right now, and I thought about it.
There's no crossplay for
I
that.
know that's literally the only reason why I didn't buy it, is because like I want to play with LeRon, but I don't want to play on PC.
And I don't have an Xbox yet.
I know. Also, it still only runs at 30 frames a second on Xbox.
Dude, I will send you my PS4. It's got a preloaded copy of Monster Hunter World on there, and I have Monster Hunter World for PlayStation Plus collection on my PS5. We can play together that way. You don't have PS Plus right now, do you, though?
I do. It just renewed.
Okay.
It literally just renewed. I'm one of those fools who forgot to turn off auto renewal when so it renewed for a whole year, and I don't have a place.
It's only $60.
I know. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I don't care. Like, I still pick up the free games, you know. Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Speaking of, add those free games to your library if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber right now and you're listening to this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to play God of War. Am I right?
I mean, God of War's pretty okay.
I'm telling you, like after having our conversation on Crossroads last night, though, guys, I'm going to get The Quarry and I'm going to get that horror song game that Story was talking about.
I don't know. I'm so playing Assassin's Creed really makes me want to play Horizon, and I'm like itching to play.
Wait, Assassin's Creed makes you want to play Horizon?
Yeah, I mean it's
interesting.
It's a lot of it's the same except for there's no robot dinosaurs, but like the exploration is the same. You know, there's bandit camps, there's cities to explore, there's different cities that you go in and you're like, oh, you're this person in this city, I should probably talk to you for missions and stuff like that. So yeah, honestly,
like I think I'm gonna play that Naruto to Boruto game on PlayStation Plus.
Oh boy, that's where I'm calling it. I mean, do we should probably wrap it up, right? We've been going for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic topic. That was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Thank you.
Very spur of the moment.
It was because I was sitting there, I was getting so upswept in like my love for Einhander, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, like I said, you know what, guys? I sent Austin a copy of the soundtrack. I'm gonna send you guys a copy of the soundtrack. Y'all have to hear it.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. If you watch on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. I want to watch it grow. I want more numbers. I'm being greedy. Also, if you listen on iTunes or Spotify, leave us a 5-star rating or review. It really helps us out. Head on over to Patreon if you want to support us there as well and get some stuff early. It's a good time. I promise. Let's see, what else is there? Go to bossrush.net, our website. Follow us on Twitter at BossRushPodcast. I don't plug that at all. So follow us there for updates on when the show goes live, to tweet us questions, all that kind of stuff, topic ideas. Stephanie, LeRon, thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate you both.
Of course.
Always.
Stephanie,
always a pleasure.
Where can we find you?
I can be found on Twitter and Instagram at Klimov, KLIMOV_author. I'm back into the throes of writing, so you can find various articles of mine on bossrush.net. And other than on here, you can also find me on episodes of After Dark and Standard Definition, the Disney animation episodes.
Nice. LeRon?
Find me everywhere. Social media, YouTube, Twitch, PlayStation Network, Steam, all by looking up Exodus 803, EXODUS 803. Also, do not forget, I've talked about it enough tonight, but I do have a Gamescast show called the Crossroads Podcast where we talk about PlayStation, PC, and Xbox on there. And that happens Tuesday nights on my Twitch channel, usually at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so don't forget that. And just check me out in various places all over bossrush.net. I'm a writer, I'm a contributor, content creator. I'm on various different Standard Definition shows. Every now and then you see me infiltrating the Nintendo show. Like, yeah.
You did infiltrate Nintendo Power Block this week. That's for sure. Also,
Yeah.
shout out to Wes, by the way.
I had a blast.
Yeah. I had never.
The console gaming crew is great.
I agree. I had never met Wes before, and he was just a delightful human being to podcast with. So
yeah,
like to see more of him show up.
Another guy that works hard behind the scenes on podcasts because he's the head wrangler of the show, and he does I think he basically does all the edits and all the promo and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he just makes sure the rest of the crew has fun doing it.
Yeah.
Aw. Props to you, dude. Hopefully I can meet him someday.
We should get him on this show. We should get
him on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you guys are listening right now, hit me up at ps_crossroads on Twitter. We're looking for guests to fill slots all summer long for the Crossroads podcast. So there, you heard it first. I haven't even said that on my podcast. So you guys heard it first here on the Boss Rush podcast.
Yeah, we're not looking for guests on this show. You can find me at IamCoreyNHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Nintendo Power Block. You can find me on Standard Definition, After Dark, Crossroads this week. Something else that we do that I'm on.
Just about everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to interview someone soon, so check that out maybe someday soon. Yeah. Thank you everybody so much for watching and or listening. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Good night.
Everyone.